Have you ever wanted to learn how to be a misogynistic asshole? Well, have I got the game for you. So recently, this developer sent out a bunch of game codes to try out their upcoming game called Super Seducer. It's basically a dating sim that teaches you, or is supposed to teach you, how to talk to women. The problem is, it's incredibly degrading, manipulative, and just overall devoid of humanity or respect. Now, the guy who spearheaded this masterpiece, his name is Richard La Ruina, who will also be our tour guide on this little adventure. Apparently, though, this guy doesn't like when you criticize his game, and he's even come after other YouTubers who had negative things to say about it. That's not how this works, especially when you're the one who sent out your game to begin with. You want to make something and set it free for the whole world to see? And you better put your big boy pants on and get ready to endure the possible negativity that comes with that. Let's get started. So immediately after the title screen, the game throws you into this quick introduction with fucking Commander Creep over here to give you a little insight into the horrendous bullshit you're about to endure.
Hey mate, Richard La Ruina, your friendly neighborhood seduction guru here, and welcome to Super Seducer.
Hi.
I'm so excited to be getting it into your hands. We had a fantastic time creating it, and I hope that you have a real blast playing it.
I somehow don't think that's gonna be happening, Richie. The game is split up into chapters, and each chapter is a different scenario that you'll be meeting women in. You need to get at least a certain score in each stage to progress, so let's get straight into chapter 1, where the object is to meet a girl on the street and get a date. Now, the game is set up like a dating sim, and there are many options for answers that are quite obviously the wrong choice. So, just for fun, I'm gonna fuck around and see what happens when I choose the obviously incorrect option.
Whoa.
Nice pit stains. Couldn't even clean that up for the camera, huh? Alright. Now, my favorite part about this game is that oftentimes the correct answer is the one that seems the most abrasive and, not okay to do to someone. The correct answer here is apparently to approach the girl straight on, directly in front. Now, I may not be a self-proclaimed seduction guru, but I'm pretty sure walking directly in someone's path is very off-putting and intimidating. And not the good kind of intimidating. It's kind of fucking creepy.
What the fuck?
Anyway, as you'll soon see in the rest of the game, you proceed to make fake conversation with the girl, trying to select and choose the right things to say, like making a connection with another human being is a fucking puzzle, all while solely having ulterior motives and absolutely no interest in her as a person. Oh god, I already see myself getting pissed off at this shit. I'm not sure how well I'll even be able to follow this in a review format because this entire thing is absolute disgusting, creepy fucking garbage. I'll keep going on, but I'll just say right now that the sole purpose of this game's existence is to try to teach men how to be manipulative, and it's fucking vile. Anywho, I really want to win this girl's heart, so how about a nice backhanded compliment?
You know, some girls like make loads of effort, so it's good that you don't really care about how you look.
Well, that's kind of
It's
a
refreshing.
weird thing to say.
So each answer is either good, bad, or okay. A bad answer will make you redo the question, a good answer will let you proceed, and an okay answer lets you proceed, but with essentially less points, if you will. It's not an optimal route. Now, one of my biggest issues with this game is, you see, a lot of times when you do give an incorrect answer, old Rich here explains to you why it's wrong, but gives you the grossest reason why it's wrong. He typically doesn't explain that things are wrong because they're inappropriate or misogynistic. He says they're wrong because the results they yield don't advance the player. Instead of doing what's morally right, he wants you to say the thing that ultimately gets you what you want, regardless of whose expense that may be at.
Now, although girls will come back to your house in the daytime if you do things exactly correct, perfectly, it's not something you should try until you're very good with women to the point where you can read all the signals so well that you know when they're going to say yes to something like that. Otherwise, it just shouldn't be attempted.
You're a creep. All right, let's try to get her number.
Sorry, I don't really give my number out, but it was nice to meet you.
You don't give your number out at all?
No, I'm sorry, but I hope you have a nice time
We'll
with your
make
friends.
an exception. Okay, see ya.
Oh, well, we struck out. We're socially awkward. Whoops. Alright, so this next scene, we're in kind of a bar or club or some bullshit, and the goal is to pick up this blonde girl who's there with her friend.
In the bar, ideally, you want to get girls laughing very fast, right? And be more interesting than their boring conversation that they were having before you came. So,
Right, because two women couldn't possibly be talking about anything interesting. So you interrupt them and find out what the girl you're interested in is going to school for, because Rich here takes a wild guess and says fashion and drama, which is incorrect, because she's going to school for business. Now, why in the world would a woman want to do that when she should be cooking dinner and squeezing out babies? He's singing. Why is he singing?
imagine all the people living happy without money.
Oh, he said.
Imagine all the
He did
people.
say so.
You're teaching all the people to be fucking creeps. Now, after she tells you she's learning business, the correct answer is to compliment her for choosing a difficult subject. Now, I shouldn't have to even say this, but if you're coming up with things to say, try and woo someone just for the sake of impressing them, that's not a real compliment and you aren't having an actual conversation, you fucking dirtbag. Honestly, I don't know what I find more entertaining about this game, the misogynistic correct answers or the socially inept incorrect ones. For example,
Listen, babe, do you mind just leaving us for a second, just going off? Because
I mind.
I really like your friend. And
I mind,
maybe-
you know?
hey listen, I like your friend, so would you mind, fucking off? So you ask them what they ate for dinner and they tell you they had fast food. So of course, cue the douchebag answer.
You know, you girls in your nice dresses, looking all fancy, and then you're just like eating burgers.
Attractive, well-dressed women eating burgers? Who let this happen? Later on, you end up finding out by way of her friend that she has a boyfriend. So, brace yourselves for the most disrespectful, degrading, dehumanizing line of the entire game.
This works psychologically because you're taking away her independence. You're saying, well, would he allow you to talk to me? Like, are you allowed to do that?
So even though you don't give a shit about the other girl, you ask them if they'd both like to hang out sometime, with the goal of getting the girl you want's number, even though she has a boyfriend. Great job. Alright, chapter 3 is pretty fucking boring except for this zinger right here.
I don't like long hair, so I guess we're even.
Well, kind of, except I could just go and cut my hair in 5 minutes and laser in all the tattoos. Not exactly the same.
If you can cut it in 5 minutes, you probably should.
Oh, shit! Nothing too interesting happens in this chapter, but you see a girl dancing at a club and you convince her to sit down and have a drink with you with the goal of ultimately taking her home. I'm not gonna go over this whole chapter because nothing particularly exciting happens.
Interesting. Well, I did notice that you were very well groomed.
Oh, thank you.
Well groomed. Do you guys remember the Geico commercial by any chance?
I didn't really like school when I was young. I was intelligent, but I was kind of bullied and kids called me ugly and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, this game's existence is starting to make a whole lot more sense. Well, we've made it to probably the most uncomfortable chapter in the game. Getting a phone number from a girl who's minding her own business, reading a book, and very clearly, visibly uninterested. Honestly, even when you answer everything correctly, this actress seems really, like, she doesn't want to talk to you. She comes off as very intelligent and educated, and you come off as a fucking Neanderthal. Now, the first correct answer is to walk up to her and spoil the ending of her book. Now, luckily she already read it, but if I was her, I would have thrown the book directly at his dumbass face. How this is the correct answer is absolutely fucking bonkers to me. Like, there are people that will literally physically assault you for doing shit like that. Anyway, after talking to her for a while, you get distracted by a girl who's walking by, and you end up glaring at her ass as she walks by instead of paying attention to the girl you're talking to. So now, you have to pick the right answer to respond to a question she asked while you weren't listening. Or you could just, not be a creep. That works too.
Yeah.
Volleyball, but anything else?
Yeah, I grew up in the country, so I really enjoy a lot of nature activities. I like hiking and I love fishing.
Fishing?
Fishing, yeah.
A girl who likes fishing?
It happens. Yeah,
Wow.
we exist.
Whoa. Well, after some grueling non-conversation, you somehow managed to get her number. No idea how, because she legitimately looks unhappy about it. Chapter 5 is about fucking your friend. I'm just gonna sit back and let this clip from the beginning of the chapter speak for itself. Oh, gross. Okay, I'm gonna speak from experience on this one. I won't say I'm the expert on this shit, and I'm typically not one to talk about personal things in videos, but coming from someone who is actually in a relationship with someone who has been a friend for a very long time, everything in this chapter, every last correct answer is the exact opposite of everything I did, like in real life. I honestly do not even want to go into detail while making jokes and riffing off of the content because this chapter actually makes me fucking sick to my stomach. This entire chapter is everything that is wrong with this game. It's manipulative and treats this person who's supposedly your friend like an object. The whole scenario encapsulates everything this game is setting out to do. It's trying to teach men how to not treat people as people. All the correct answers in this chapter have nothing at all to do with being a good person and everything to do with getting what you want. For example, your friend asks you to do her a favor, something that would really help her out, and the correct answer is to refuse because it'll quote-unquote keep you in the friend zone. Another example, later on she breaks up with her boyfriend and comes to you for moral support. The correct answer? Don't be there for her right away. Ignore her for a while instead of being available. That's supposed to be your friend, you stupid douche. To be honest, Rich's response after one of the wrong answers you can choose after actually sleeping with the girl kind of sums the whole thing up.
That's one of those moments, wasn't it, where it's just better not to say exactly what you were thinking.
You know, I haven't really showcased it, but throughout the game, he keeps talking about certain techniques and calling it psychology. Stop calling it psychology! It's manipulation. Fucking fuck. So chapter 6.
Let me tell you what I think about that. Hang on.
Okay. Oh my god. Are you serious?
What?
So chapter 7, this one's kind of just inherently creepy from the get-go. I mean, I know it's supposed to be some kind of public park, but it really just looks like you're trying to pick a girl up in the fucking wilderness. Call me crazy, but if I was a woman, pretty much one of the last places I'd want a strange man approaching me is in a secluded wooded area where no one can hear your screams. I get that not every situation is black and white, but the way this scene is staged is just very off-putting and creepy, like the beginning of a fucking horror film. Anyway, she's apparently coming directly from a job interview. You start talking about immigration issues, which is quite frankly an odd topic of conversation for a first meeting. You find out she's not very fond of immigrants, and of course, the proper way to respond is to disagree, but not because that's your opinion, of course, but because it's apparently the right thing to say. Why even be a person?
What's your favorite food?
My favorite food is tacos.
Tacos?
Yeah, it's Mexican.
Get right out of town. So she makes a comment about men being better than women at cooking, and the correct answer is to then say that men are better at everything. Now, I selected this choice thinking it was completely incorrect, and the girl even responds as if she's offended, but, nope. Apparently, condescension is the key to a girl's heart. Anyway, sunrise, sunset with this one, and you end up getting her number. Now, Chapter 8 is a bit different. You play the role of the wingman, trying to get your friend to talk to a girl who's at the bar with her friend. The chapter actually starts with a question of who would be the best wingman. This is not only clearly fucked up, but it doesn't actually make any sense because the chapter is about you being the wingman, not the other way around. Anyway, the correct answer is the attractive friend, and the scene begins. First correct answer is to come up with code words like we're in fucking high school, and then the two scope out which girls they want to talk to at the bar. You blackmail your friend into going to talk to the girl he likes, and then he approaches the two girls he sees. Now, one of the openers you can choose from is to bring up the new Star Wars movie, and it plays out like this.
Have you seen the latest Star Wars?
No.
Oh, why?
Well, we don't like it.
I'm sorry. We want to talk to each other. I'm sorry.
Yes, okay.
Alright, I gotta stop this here. This is total bullshit. This whole game is misogynistic, generalizing bullshit. I'm gonna get real here for just a second. I know plenty of girls who would be totally down to talk about Star Wars. I don't even like Star Wars. It's not even what I'm defending, but there's totally plenty of girls who would be interested in talking about that shit or anything else that has to do with geek or gamer culture. It's totally dependent on who you're talking to and what you're looking for in a person. If you're into something like Star Wars, that's a common interest that you share and would totally be a perfectly acceptable topic of conversation. Because if you're into that kind of thing, chances are you'd probably be pretty psyched to meet a person who's also into the same thing. Not to mention, if I approach someone with a friendly attitude and I get that kind of rude response in return, I'd keep it moving. This whole game is fucking stupid and teaches you how to not be a person. In fact, meeting a person this way and trying to form some kind of connection based on literally nothing except trying to turn an interaction into a puzzle is how you end up living in misery with a person you've got no business being with. Meet people, be respectful, be yourself, fuck this game, and fuck this asshole. Hey, thanks for watching the video. If you liked it, there's a couple more videos right there you can check out. And if you want to keep up with everything I release, click the subscribe button. Not that that does much these days. And if you want to help support me, there's my Patreon link right on the screen too.